What I don't like about Messenger, Facebook Messenger, is I'm in the middle of doing something and Messenger has grabbed permission to pop up over top of what I'm doing. It's a rude application. And I went looking to see if I could turn it off so that it didn't pop up over top of what I'm doing. And I couldn't find it. So I'm going to call it, and software, is this a bug? This is not really a bug. This is somebody programming this application to be intrusive. And they didn't build in a setting where I could turn off this intrusiveness. And when I went looking at apps in general on my smartphone, I found a hell of a lot of them are very intrusive at taking permissions that they don't need. You know, and if you're at all concerned about people spying on you, you need to go into the settings of your smartphone and look to see which apps that have nothing to do with the microphone and camera, like, you know, a cleaning app that's supposed to go find junk on your phone, has no need to access your microphone and your camera. But lo and behold, they have it. You know, when you install these apps, they don't ask you. Maybe it would be a pain in the ass. I mean, it might be a pain in the ass, you know, for it to ask you for all the permissions that it wants. But what the hell are they doing with all these permissions to access your phone? Are they recording you and beaming it back to some lab somewhere where they're spying on you? That's what I think. Because why else would they grab a hold of permission to access the microphone on my smartphone if they weren't going to spy on me? I mean, some apps need it, like, you know, my camera, when I'm talking like right now. Clearly, the camera app needs access to the physical camera in this phone and the microphone in this phone. That's logical. But some of these other apps, like Google Store, why does Google Store, where you select apps, need access to my microphone and my camera? It's spyware. I did go looking and I found that there is an alternative to the Google Android, and it just looked too difficult to figure out how to remove Google Android and put this other thing in. So I called up my local cell phone repair center and I said, can you do this, put this new operating system on? They said, no, we don't know how. But I would, because it seems like, not seems like, it is. You can either go with Apple or Google. And both of them are spyware companies. Both of them are disgusting companies because they both do all kinds of nasty deals with dictatorships like China. I don't like these companies. And unfortunately, if I want to have a smartphone, I've got to choose between the two of them. And then when you get the smartphone, it's got a lot of things that are pre-installed apps that I don't want. And when you go to uninstall them, you can't. You can, like, maybe disable them, but you can't uninstall them. Why? I don't know. But they don't give me enough memory on these phones. So quite often, you know, the apps that I do want to have on my phone, I can't put them on because there's not enough memory. And then I look at all these stupid apps that I don't want, that are pre-installed, that I can't uninstall, hogging my memory. I don't like mandatory apps from Google or iPhone, and I don't like them from the government. I don't like the government mandatory apps that cell phone companies mandatorily have to install on your phone so the government can notify you of civil emergencies or whatever. I don't want it. It's my phone. I paid for it. I do not consent to these governments. I guess I have to live with them. But I still don't consent. So I'm going to call governments out on slavery, enslaving me to their rules and regulations that I never consented to. And if you're one of these people that say we have to have governments making rules and regulations, then I'm going to enslave you. Because I don't consent. And I don't give you consent to put me in a group of other humans that you say majority rules by. Screw your majority rule. I'm an independent sovereign being living in hell, planet Earth, full of fat controllers who want to do nothing but tell me what to do. Unfortunately, with my sovereignty intact, I don't have the ability to live in isolation. No man is an island, and it seems to be true. So it's very difficult for me to say I'm free and sovereign when clearly I'm not. I mean, I rely on the grocery store to supply me with things that I can buy for food. You know, I rely on the electric company to power my lights, etc., etc. So how can I be sovereign when I have got these mandatory relationships? It seems to me that's the purpose of planet Earth, to drive you insane. Because we all want to be free, and yet we're trapped in these physical forms that are reliant on all of these other things. That's why it's hell. If you were totally free, you would be able to have your own space where you could instantly manifest whatever you need, from water to food to air to a place to sit down, or maybe de-manifest your physical form altogether. These things, we're told, are available. How you actually get them for yourself seems to be a wait and see thing. Maybe you can intend it. I don't know how you actually intend it. It's a word, but how do you actually intend something? A lot of words, magic words, but until they work, they're just words. I'm Moosey Wilson for Moosey Explained.